motomattman. How's everybody doing today? It's Monday, July the 13th. It's a little after 5 p.m. and it's 73 degrees outside. I mean, come on. Could the weather be any better? Beautiful blue skies, white puffy clouds. I mean, come on. Perfect riding weather. Absolutely gorgeous today. I mean, been all winter long complaining about it being cold and then getting all excited about 50 degrees coming, and then it seems to jump from 50 degrees to like 85 or 90 degrees and the sun blazing hot, and then you get a day like today. I mean, goodness gracious. Who in the world could complain about this? But anyway, that's not what I'm on here about today. It's not to brag about how awesome the weather is today. I mean, of course, that is one thing. But anyway, that's not the main deal. The main deal today is a few updates on some things. Number one, kind of a longer term update on the bar end mirrors here. Tell you what, I put them on. I told you guys how much I loved how they looked on the bike, how I cleaned all this up. I still think that's the case. I think the bike looks much better with the bar end mirrors than it does with all the crap up top. I personally like the bar end mirrors better than Mrs. Motomattman's mirrors that are mounted down here below. I like the look of this better. I like the ease of use. I mean, I just glance over, boom, boom, right there. So I like the ease of use better than the ones down below, hanging down below. So I guess what I would have to do is I would have to say I give it 2 thumbs up. You know, or we could say 2 thumbs up for the bar end mirrors. Absolutely positively love them. Think it was definitely, absolutely positively the right choice. Okay, another little update. The last video I talked about, I rode the Honda to Advanced Auto Parts to get brake pads for our Jeep Grand Cherokee, and then I left the store, and I told you guys how they have 2 stupid brake calipers, different styles of brake calipers. So I had to go home, tear everything apart, and I did. And I jumped in the car to go up in the car. It was freaking hot that day, and it just kept getting hotter and hotter. So I took the car and I wussed out and used the air conditioning. But not only that, when I came back home and then had to tore everything apart, by the time I got everything tore apart, Mrs. Motomattman had some other things that she wanted me to pick up while I was in town, so I got her stuff too. Okay, so I got the stuff. I found out they were the non-normal, pain in the butt, daggone brake calipers that were on the Jeep. So I went in there, I got the right brake pads, came back home, put the one side back together. That was the driver's side that I initially tore apart. Put those back together, put that side back together, went to the other side, took everything apart on the other side, went to compress the piston on the passenger side brake caliper, and the daggone thing blew a damn seal and brake fluid went everywhere. So I had to pull the brake caliper off, go up to the store and get a new brake caliper. So I went back into town, got a new brake caliper, came back home, put a new brake caliper on, and a new brake rotors, because the rotors that I had at home, in the box, in the garage, were the right ones. So I put everything back together, and then took my little brake bleeding tool that I got for bleeding, actually not bleeding brakes, but bleeding the clutch on the VFR, because it's got a hydraulic clutch. So I got it to bleed the clutch. Used that little brake bleeding tool, worked like a champ, bled the brakes, everything's good to go. So So just got a couple more things I got to take care of. Looks like I got a leaky heater core or a leaky heater control valve on the Jeep. Got to fix that, and then we're golden. Or I could just get lazy and just bypass the daggone heater core altogether and just run without heat. But anyway, that's where that is. Everything's put back together. Everything's good. Worked just like it was supposed to work. So we got all that taken care of and what have you. So everything's, like I said, everything's golden there. Another thing, I had a video that I made a few weeks back about, I called it white line fever, and that video was dealing with seeing a guy on a Harley coming down my road hugging the white line as opposed to you know, hugging the yellow line, or at least being in the middle of the lane, which I definitely recommend being over here next to the yellow line over being in the middle of the lane. And I discussed that all in that video as well. I gotta find where my road is. Is this my road? Yes, I think it's my road. That's my road. Anyway, and we gonna go. We ain't gonna wait. We gonna go. Anywho, comes out, it may have actually been, as a matter of fact, I think it was the day that I was working on the brakes on the Jeep, that I was on my way home from Chardon, or Chardon, however you want to pronounce it. But anyway, I was on my way back home in the car, and there were two female riders up ahead of me on separate bikes. And they were both hugging the white line. And there are two issues with that. Number one, they were hugging the white line, and number two, they were riding single file to hug the white line. So I wanted to briefly talk about that, and the fact that whenever you're riding two or more bikes together, you want to make sure you stagger your riding, so you're not riding one behind another. Few reasons for that. The biggest safety concern is if something were to happen to the rider directly in front of you, it would not cause a pile up by staggering, or it's less likely to. The other thing is if for some reason you're the rider in the back and you get distracted for any reason and they have a panic stop, you're not going to slam into the back of them. But the reason I bring all this up is, had I been on a bike instead of in a car, I'd have rode to catch up to them and nicely pointed it out. You know, hey, you know, from watching you guys ride, I figure you're probably newer riders, and let me give you just a little piece of advice. And I bring that up because I think that's something that we all need to do, is help out the newer riders. You know, you got to be real careful though. I mean, it's one of those things, you don't want to stomp on somebody's toes and come across as being a jerk or arrogant or whatever about it. You know, you don't want to sound like a know-it-all. You need to be real nice about it. I don't know how else to really put it. You know, kind of be a little bit cautious, I guess, about how you would bring it up to somebody, but try to help out the newer riders so that they understand some of these things. Because, you know, I understand a lot of people promote big time the safe rider courses, and I believe that's a good idea for everybody. But you also got to remember, you got quite a few people that that don't take the rider courses, the MSF courses. And so those people don't understand the things, and nobody necessarily tells them. A lot of times they got a buddy that rides or whatever, and they've ridden dirt bikes, so the buddy says, hey, why don't you get a bike and we can ride together and whatnot. And they go off riding, and nobody explains the stuff. I mean, heck, to be honest with you, the buddy may not even know. So we got to watch out for some of these things and let newbies know why you do what you do. The little safety things, but also etiquette kind of things. Bring people in instead of just yelling at them that they're idiots or what have you. Instead of doing that, tell them, hey, look, this is the way it's usually done. This is the proper etiquette, or for safety reasons, you want to do this or you want to do that, and explain it to them. And explain, don't just say for safety reasons. If you know what the reason is, what that safety reason is, explain that to them and tell them why. Little things like I said in the beginning of this, being over here next to this yellow line. Being over here next to this yellow line allows me, if somebody's coming, to be able to move over here if they come across the line. It also makes me more visible to people that may be pulling out one direction or the other. Explain that to people. So they know the reason behind the things that we do. But anyway, my God, look at that sky. How beautiful that is. I hope you guys can see that. It is absolutely awesome. It's 73 degrees. Phenomenal. Yes, I know, pretty much straight roads, but 73 degrees, beautiful puffy white clouds, bright blue skies. Granted, I'll be perfectly honest with you, it's not the same. I don't know what the deal is, but it's not the same color blue as like it is in North Carolina. Okay. I guess I'll tell y'all something about that too. But anyway, from living in North Carolina, I used to joke and laugh that you could tell when you were entering or exiting the state by the color of the sky. When you would leave North Carolina and enter into Virginia or South Carolina or Tennessee, the color of the sky would change, and it wouldn't be that same shade of Carolina blue. And I'll tell you something. When I was in the 4th grade, we lived in North Carolina briefly when I was in the 4th grade, and I lived there quite a while, for quite a while, long time after that. But anyway, when I was in the 4th grade, in the principal's office, he had a plaque over top of his, behind his desk, up on the wall, and he was a UNC alum, and what the plaque said was, if God's not a Tar Heel fan, why'd he paint the sky Carolina blue? And as long as I live, I will never forget that. I was an impressionable, young kid when I saw that, but it struck a chord with me, so I've remembered it all these years later. And I guess maybe he's right, because the sky sure as heck ain't Duke blue or Kentucky blue. And if a daggone sure ain't NC State red. But anyway, just one of those things that I remember from being a kid that just makes me chuckle whenever I remember it again. But anyway, my big thing today was to give y'all what my final verdict is on the bar and mirrors. 2 thumbs up. To also tell you guys, and I will say that Mrs. Motomattman's mirrors being down below, I give it a 1.5 thumbs up. for those. I like them, I just don't like them as much as the bar end. The other thing is I wanted to update y'all on whatever happened with the brakes on the Jeep. Got them taken care of, all fixed, good to go. But I wanted to update you on that. And then bring up the business, like I said, about seeing that the two girls on the bikes hugging the white line, riding single file, and all of that nonsense. And bringing it up that, hey, let's, I don't know why that tent's still there. Those guys working, it's been there for almost 2 weeks. Anyway, wanted to bring that up, bring it to y'all's attention. You know, if you see somebody doing something on the bike that maybe they shouldn't be doing, you know, things that you see that is like, you know, they probably don't know any better. Maybe I ought to say something. You know, go ahead and tactfully maybe say something to them. You know, explain the stuff with the proper etiquette and whatnot, so people know. But again, be tactful about it. Don't be nasty. No reason to be nasty to somebody, especially be nasty to somebody about something they may not even know about. Whoa, how the hell that happened? Thing didn't want to shift from second to third. But anywho, don't know how it happened, but it happened. Ain't got a clue. But anyway, I guess that's all I got for y'all today. Hope everybody has a great day. If you're able to get out on tube, remember, keep the shiny side up and the rubber side down. Hope y'all are blessed with weather like this. My God, this is insane. I mean, it rained, poured down the rain most of the weekend. We had a softball tournament that our daughter was supposed to play in, and Friday night was washed out. Saturday night was completely washed out. So all she got to do was play on Sunday. And that whole debacle is a whole other story. Don't want to get into that nonsense. But anyway, hope y'all have weather like this when it did when we were able to play on Sunday. I mean, it got hot, but this is awesome. So anyway, again, keep the shiny side up, the rubber side down. If you like what you see, click the like and subscribe button and punch that bell so you get notifications whenever I upload any new content. Mrs. Motomattman's trying to get stuff out there, but like I said, poured down the rain Friday, Saturday. Rained a little bit on Thursday as well. Weather, you know, is not cooperating. Things are busy with the softball stuff. We're working from home still. And like I've told you guys before, she runs the softball organization that my daughter's part of. Got 8 teams in various age groups, and tryouts are coming up soon. They're trying to get that all figured out, and it's a little bit more of a pain in the behind this year than normal because of the whole COVID thing and social distancing and all those guidelines. But anyway, I hope everybody stays safe and healthy. And again, I hope you have an awesome day. I hope you're able to get out on tube. Enjoy the summer, enjoy the weather. Everybody be safe and happy. Thank you for watching again.